What is going on, everyone? It is Wednesday evening. It is about 5 p.m. and I am sitting here in my car in the rain, and it's track night. It appears the school is still open. There are no lights on, so we will be running in the dark. The emergency floodlights will be on, so not sure what kind of video I'm gonna get. Certainly not sending the drone up. This video, I wanna talk a little bit about my training schedule. I get a lot of questions about kind of workouts and work and life, balance, family. How do I make it all work? The title of this video was 20 hours of Ironman training or something like that. I haven't named it yet. But basically, I'm gonna go through what my training schedule looks like and how I get in as much training as I do. Now, I average between 15 and 20 hours. It's not 20 hours every single week. This week will be 20 hours. So we'll talk more about that when I'm done running this track session. I'm trying to get here a little bit early because my daughter's practice moved from today to tomorrow, the one that does soccer, but the volleyball practice still occurs, and I gotta get her by 7:30. Just completed a 1 mile warm up and a bunch of kind of dynamic or active stretches. Now we're gonna get into it. This week's workout is longer than last week's workout. Last week was 12 400s with 400 rest after each, rest being a 10-minute mile-ish, 9 to 10. This week it is 16 rounds of 400 at a 1:28 pace, so just under a 6-minute per mile pace with a 400 recovery, making sure that recovery is faster than 10-minute mile pace. Don't want to be too slow, but the goal is to get as many of these at 1:28 as possible.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning.
All right, time to get this first one going.
I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
It is really starting to come down, and unfortunately, there's a lacrosse game next lap. And because there's a lacrosse game, they're gonna shut us down here soon. So I'm trying to get as many of these in as I can. But it is really
Run away, I won't let you finish. When you came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help. It's a shame that nobody will hit me. No pain, no gain. Watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot, you better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this. I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
Well, it is not Wednesday night post-track workout. It is not even Thursday. It is now Friday evening. I am done with work and about to head out to the elementary school carnival fundraiser with my daughters. But before I do that, I wanted to talk about my training. I get lots of questions about how much volume am I doing? When am I getting my workouts done? Do I work full time? All types of questions like that. Family time, how do I balance it all? So figured we would do that now. It is Friday evening, and this week I am currently at 14 hours and 22 minutes of training. Now that doesn't include any sort of ART appointments or foam rolling, stretching, recovery, things like that. This is strictly 14 hours of swimming, biking, running, rowing, weightlifting. I did not do any weightlifting this week, but that is what is accounted for in that 14 hours. Over the weekend, I will have about 6 hours, so I should hit 20 hours of training this week. And on average, I average between 15 hours and 20 hours. It really just depends on the week. But before I go into that, I wanna give a few, disclaimers, we'll call them. Basically, I work from home about 80% of the time. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, most of the time I do work from home. Wednesdays, I go into the office, and that's a day that I have swim in the morning and track at night, so it works out really nicely. I have lots of sports with the girls in the evenings, And my wife does not work, at least for a paycheck. She does lots of volunteering between the PTA and the Girl Scouts, but as far as a 9 to 5, she does not have one. So her responsibility is getting our girls to and from their events during the day. So to school, home from school, things like that, which help me a lot because that allows me to get a lot of my training done in the mornings. Before we get into the schedule, there are some key pieces or guidelines that allow me to get this type of training in. Number one at the top of the list is sacrifice. I talked a little bit about that in the last video when I talked about getting to bed early and getting up early. Well, that has been a major part of me getting in the amount of volume I get in. And that means I don't watch TV in the evenings. I go to bed really early. When my kids get in bed at 8:30 to read their books and they're asleep by 9 o'clock, I'm in bed and going to sleep, which then allows me to get up every single day between 4 and 4:30, which is when I do the majority of my training is in the morning. It's between 4:30 or 5-ish to 7:30, 8 in the morning. That is when the majority of the 2 to 3 hours I train happens each day. The other thing I've done, which is a sacrifice, is limit the amount of social activities I do. I don't go out during the week. Other than getting my kids to sports and home, I don't go out. On the weekends, I rarely do go out, and if I do go out, I very rarely ever stay out beyond 9 p.m. And the biggest reason I've chosen to do all my training in the mornings and as early as I do is because I have no other obligations. No one is waiting for me, no one is looking for me, my family is asleep. I can get up and I can get all of my working out in before anyone ever gets out of bed for the most part. Another key to making those mornings really productive so I don't just get up at 4:30 and then let time waste is preparation. All of my stuff for that day's training is laid out the night before. I put it in the bathroom, which is in the front of the house, or it's out here in the garage. It's all laid out. I have exactly what I need. The other thing is my workouts are very structured. Even though I don't have a coach, my workouts are planned a week ahead. I know exactly what I'm doing every single day, so I'm ready to go when I get up. So I'm just gonna quickly run through my calendar so you can get an idea of where the consistency in my day is and what the volume looks like each day. Mondays are always swim days. I get there and start swimming at 5:45 in the morning until 7 a.m. and that gives me an hour and 15 minutes. From there, I get home as fast as I can and I jump on the bike. I usually do an hour to 90 minutes on the bike before I start working. Mondays are one of my lighter days, so I'm able to start work around 9:30, and I work until 6:30. Then that evening, before I take my daughter to practice, I try and hit a row session or some sort of weights for about a half hour. So there's 3 hours on Monday. Tuesdays, I'm up 4:15, 4:30. I am on the bike by 5 a.m. and I ride 2 to 2.5 hours in the morning. Then again, work from 8 to 5. That evening, my daughter has practice. So during practice, I will knock out a 35-minute to 40-minute run. Wednesdays is another swim day. 5:45 in the morning, I'm at the pool swimming until about 7. From there, I get ready for work or come home really fast and get ready, hit the office by 8 a.m., work till 5:30. Then I leave the office and go straight to the track, which it was raining this week. That was the part you just saw right now of me training in the rain. And I hit the track for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, anywhere from 7 to 9 miles of speed work, which puts me around 2.5 hours on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I am up early and on the bike by 5 a.m. in the morning, ride for 2 to 2.5 hours before work, start work by 8:30, work till 5:30, then post work, get my daughter and head out to soccer practice. She practices for about an hour and a half on Thursday evenings, which gives me time during practice to get a 35 to 40-minute run in, which puts me at 3 hours for Thursdays. Fridays, I am back at the pool again, 5:45 for an hour and 15 minutes, straight home after the pool, onto the bike for an hour, then off to work. On Fridays, I have a little flexibility, so I like to try and get in either a rowing session or a weightlifting session on Friday, which brings me to another 2.5 hours for Friday. And then Saturdays and Sundays are really variable depending on my kids' sports. Do we have volleyball tournaments? Do we have soccer games? What is going on? We have a track meet this weekend. So that schedule moves around a lot. I try and get in anywhere from 2 to 4 hours each day. Saturdays, I like to get in my long bike, and that's anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Then off the bike for a short run, 5 miles, 6 miles, so maybe another 40 to 45 minutes there. And that brings me to 4 to 5 hours on Saturday morning. And then on Sunday is when I like to do my long run. Sometimes I will hit an open water swim down in Long Beach for 30 minutes to 40 minutes, but then I try and get out and get about 2 hours worth of running in. And if you sum all of that up, that is about 20 hours, which is what I am doing this week. Next week, I will cut back a little bit. It'll probably be 15 or 16 hours. I will just take a week down, and then the following week, I will ramp it back up. I will say that in the past, my training has kind of been in that 14 to 16 hour time frame. And this training cycle going into Morro, I have ramped it up because I am super focused on getting the volume in and targeting that sub 4:38 goal and getting on the podium top 5. So I am really focused on this training block, this 12-week period, and putting as much effort to see if I get more results out of that than I have in my past efforts and the volume that I've done. But that is it for this video. I don't want to talk too long and go on, but I hope that kind of gives you an idea. I do work between 8 and 9 hours a day. I do have some flexibility because I work from home. My spouse makes life easy because she does not work, so she is able to do a lot of the stuff for the kids in the morning. And my kids are a little bit older now. They're able to get up, they're able to make their lunches, they're able to get ready for school, they're able to do their homework. So they are pretty self-sufficient, which makes life much easier than it used to be, say, even 4 years ago. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for the comments and the likes. I'm really happy with how this series is going so far. The views, the thumbs up, it's been unbelievable. So thank all of you so much. Thank you to the new subscribers and new viewers, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
Tell me I got this.